Today, this Abhinav Path. Abhinav means new and Path means way. So the theme of this sub-regional conference, a new way, a new opportunity for us, for all chartered accountants. मैं प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत एक शेर से करना चाहूँगा। भगवान ने कीमती रकम गिनती के ही बनाए हैं और उसमें से सबसे कीमती आज हमारे बीच में आए हैं। ऐसे हमारे आज के स्पीकर सी महेंद्र भाई सांघवी सर, आई वेलकम यू। आई थैंक सर, जस्ट अ मिनट, आई रिक्वेस्ट प्रशांत अग्रवाल सर, chairman, to please escort the today's speaker on the dais. I thank this Abhinav Path Sub-Regional Conference organized by WIRC, hosted by Nasik branch, jointly with Ahmednagar, Aurangabad, Dhule and Jalgaon branch of WIRC of ICI. A very well two-day program with superb topics and excellent faculty from all over Maharashtra are here with us. We are going to definitely have a learning session with our faculties. So without taking much time, I first of all request Prashant sir to please give a floral welcome to our today's speaker, CM Mahendra sir. I also request Prashant sir to give a memento as a token of love to our today's speaker sir. Thank you sir. Now for opening, for introduction of today's speaker. I request Prashant sir to please introduce today's speaker.
Thanks Pawan bhai, thank you very much. This is being a very emerging topic, and we can say it is also a traditional topic, but traditional topics mixed in a Abhinay way to the futuristic approach. That's why it is the future of the income tax. So it's my pleasure that I am introducing such a great speaker, Shri Mahendra Sanghvi ji. Mahendra Sanghvi sir is a practicing chartered accountant of Mumbai, partner in firm Sanghvi and Sanghvi, that means Triple S, practicing income tax matter and audit. He is the past president of the Chamber of Tax Consultants. Currently he is the chairman of Law and Representation Committee of Chamber of Tax Consultants. Was nominated as a member of Regional Direct Tax Advisory Committee by Central Board of Direct Taxes (CBDT). Was member of Standing Committee on TDS for Mumbai Region, Commissioner of Income Tax TDS. Given lectures in meeting organized by Chamber of Tax Consultants, Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, Institute of Chartered Accountants and other organizations. He has written articles in newspaper and magazines of professional interest. He contributed to the referencer manual of WIRC of ICI. Shri Mahendra Sanghvi ji has given the lectures during training sessions of public sector companies and orientation and training program of tribunal matters. So this is the very short and brief introduction of Shri Mahendra Sanghvi ji. So I will request him to get started. Thank you.
Mr. Agrawal, Prashant Agrawal, Chairman of Jalgaon branch, Mr. Jaju, Vice Chairman, Amravati branch, seniors present over here, and friends. At the outset, I am thankful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be with you all, and more particularly I would say on a physical meeting. I would understand most of you all must be awaiting a physical, like how we all also in Bombay are. But we hope that this era ends soon and we start all meeting physically so that we can have networking, we can have relationships more intermediate. I was wondering when Manish Gadia, Chairman WRC, just called me and said, Mahendra ji, apne ko Nasik chalna hai if you are not occupied on 2nd October. So I said that yes, 30th का तो deadline हो जाएगा वैसे. तो occupancy 2nd October normally तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. तो बस आप block कर लीजिए and that's the relationship we have. So I said yes, okay. तब तो मुझे यही लगा था कि ओके ये अपना some topic on direct tax होगा. बस फोन रखने से पहले बोलते हैं कि टॉपिक महेंद्र भाई थोड़ा डिफरेंट है और अपने को फ्यूचर एंड अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऑफ इनकम टैक्स पे बोलना है. मैं बोला अभी कमिटमेंट तो हो गया है. सो थोड़ा नॉन टेक्निकल टॉपिक है बट I think I will enjoy. Let me try and let me enjoy this topic during at least, if not the preparation part. So while preparation, yes, thanks to my office. Okay, during preparation, I learned certain things which otherwise I was unaware as far as the opportunities are concerned. और I can say fear is concerned, जो otherwise juniors लोग नहीं बोल सकते थे कि सर ये आपको करना चाहिए changes, but by way of presentation they did it, and which has resisted back of my mind that yes, we as a senior also require this change, and if this change is not there, then we cannot actually see the world what the world is today. So I understand, yes, why this topic is selected. And believe me friends, till yesterday I was not aware of the entire agenda of this 2-day seminar. Yesterday evening I realized that, oh, there are 3 topics on these opportunities and developments. One is on indirect tax, one is on direct tax, and the other one is on other than the 2. But when I landed here, I realized when I met Praful bhai, बोला प्रफुल्ल जी कैसा था आपका लेक्चर? अरे महेंद्र भाई मेरा तो नहीं था. तो मैं बोला क्या हुआ? Is it cancelled? क्या? When I stepped out from the car, immediately I met him. So he said कि नहीं मेरा कुछ हैदराबाद अर्जेंट काम आ गया है. So हमारे जी को रिक्वेस्ट किया था and he has taken. मैं बोला okay, equally good substitute, so that's not a problem. But yesterday I was little bit again confused कि is it really required कि 3 सेशन होने चाहिए for the opportunities for a chartered accountant? One way of looking, yes, elaborate discussion threadbare हो सकता है. The other way of looking कि today everything is in a capsule form. सब चीज मिक्स कर लो, दवाई दे दो और शॉट दे दो. ये तो अलग चीज है कि अपने को 2 शॉट लेना पड़ता है, फिर बूस्टर आएगा, ये आएगा. That's a different thing. But otherwise now today everything is in capsule form. फटाफट आ जाना चाहिए. And this is actually a change, a generation gap. Seniors practicing पूरा डिस्कस बरोबर करो, थ्रेडबेयर डिस्कस करो, उसको पूरा एनालाइज करो और फिर आपका ओपिनियन दीजिए. जूनियर्स क्वेरी क्या है, उसका आंसर फर्स्ट इमीडिएटली फोन निकाला, गूगल किया, व्हाट इज दैट आंसर. फिर दे विल ट्राई टू टेस्ट इट. द गुड पार्ट इज देन दे विल ट्राई टू वेरीफाई ऑल्सो कि गूगल जो बोल रहा है वो सही है कि नहीं, वो मैच हो रहा है कि नहीं एज पर द लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट्स. इफ इट्स issue of some judgment, or if it's a law point, some law related commentary or act. सीनियर्स उसको एनालाइज करेंगे, इनकम टैक्स एक्ट को खोलेंगे, वो सेक्शन खोलेंगे, एनालाइज करेंगे, कमेंट्री पढ़ेंगे, एंड देन वी विल आस्क द जूनियर्स कि ओके व्हाट इज द आंसर ऑफ गूगल. गूगल बाबा भी क्या बोल रहे हैं, डज इट मैच? Not that the we seniors are also, well, I am in between the two, trying to bridge the juniors and the seniors also. So as a senior also we try to match whether we are, if the Google Baba is giving some other answer, तो वापस कैसेट घुमाते हैं कि क्यों वो दूसरा आंसर दे रहा होगा, and then ultimately we come to कि ये Google Baba है, बस only that much we can rely, a trend and not the ultimate answer. But this we all need to be careful in our tax practice, that that's not an ultimate answer, it's a trend or a way where we can be forwarded. They are giving us a way to forward that what could be the answer. Therefore, this is a change which I also thought that yes, in the given 1.5 hour time, one person cannot do a justice to the entire opportunities what a chartered accountant has today. Like specialization कहाँ तक चला गया, whether it's a medical profession, whether it's a chartered accountancy profession, things have become specialization. Just because we are all in the chartered accountancy profession, I would rather give an example of a medical profession. Medical profession, if we see first, पहले whether it's a body ache, it's a headache, it's a leg ache, it's a toothache, eye ache, a regular physician के पास जाना है. He would definitely try to treat, even if it's a earache, तो ऐसा नहीं बोलते कि भाई आप ENT के पास जाइए, ये मेरा काम नहीं है. The thing, or if it's a backache, तो ये नहीं बोलेंगे आप ऑर्थोपेडिक के पास जाइए. Now बैकएक है, ठीक है, शायद ये हो सकता है वायरल है, चल रहा है, ये वो नहीं हुआ, ठीक है, immediately refer to an orthopedic. Then after things have changed, no, not only orthopedic, again a specialization, super specialization, spine surgeon. Now the trend is super specialization, spine surgeon may be lower back, upper back, neck, ये I don't know, L4, L5, restricting people for that specialized area practice. Similar practice has been now of even chartered accountants area. Whether it is one roof or networking or different offices. If it's in one roof, then a chartered accountant office, okay, this partner of mine is looking after GST, this partner of mine is direct tax, this is attestation, etc. etc. उसमें भी वापस अगर direct tax है, he is international, he is only domestic. International में भी he is only in transfer pricing, he is other than transfer pricing. Other than transfer pricing में he is in particular countries where DTs double A's if you want to see of African countries or American or European countries, other than that. So these specializations have been going on even in our direct or for that matter indirect tax practices. So I would not say that specialization does not give us a good result as far as monetary is concerned, but a satisfaction level, yes. Simultaneously, as a chartered accountant, the expectation of the general society, relative, friends have been कि at least basic चीज का तो आपको आंसर देना ही चाहिए. मैं PPF में कितना इन्वेस्ट करूं? अभी थ्रेशोल्ड लिमिट क्या है सीनियर सिटीजन की? अभी TDS का क्या परसेंटेज है ऑन प्रोफेशन टैक्स? this is the expectation, whether it is your family business, so your uncle and father would be asking you, or whether it's your good friends, they would be asking you, even if you have specialization on, say, GST, but they will ask you, कि chartered accountant है तेरे को इतना तो मालूम होगा ना? These are free advices. So as a caution, you can always give. कि भाई या मैं प्रैक्टिस तो जीएसटी का कर रहा हूँ, मैं प्रैक्टिस तो इंटरनेशनल टैक्स का करता हूँ, पर हाँ मेरे ख्याल से ऐसा ही कुछ है जो आप बोल रहे हो, क्योंकि उनका रिप्लाई उनके पास भी है. They are trying to just confirm with us कि हाँ ऐसा है कुछ. But if you say कि मुझे तो पता ही नहीं है, तो you are either you are letting him down or you are letting down yourself. Don't let down yourself. Certain basic things जो गूगल पर आंसर दे सकता है, वो आंसर अपने को भी देना ही, as far as your basic question comes. Now, coming to the area that today I have to discuss is about, first only direct tax, and that too, the topic is future of income tax. So, related to income tax, and but connected to income tax, what are the opportunities? I will try to cover those also. Of course, definitely no attestation, that is the statutory audit or bank audit or other audits, except if it is connected to tax audit, and definitely nothing about the GST part, which I was just discussing before this lecture. I had some time, so मैंने call किया राजीव भाई को, मतलब राजीव, by any chance you are here, then we will meet. Otherwise, the physical तो बंद हो गया, phone पे बात हो रही थी. But he said no, I am joining tomorrow, so he will be covering up on the GST part of the indirect tax का opportunities. Now let us, friends, straight away come to our topic. First, this is the first para which is there of the Kalidas ji, given by Kalidas ji, but this is on our new portal of income tax. And it is verbatim copied from there. The source is our income tax portal. And it reads like this. It was only for the good of his subjects that he collected taxes from them, just as the sun draws moisture from the earth to give it back 1,000-fold. So it's trying to say कि राजा जब collect करता था थोड़ा थोड़ा tax, so that उसको 1,000 times return कर सकता था. आज if I'm just trying to compare Raja with Modi ji, because he's head today as a PM, they are collecting little tax so that they will return in 1,000 folds. This is the website of our income taxing. It's not I am saying it today. So that they will return it today, they will return it in 1,000 fold. Definitely, we are not so greedy कि भाई 1,000 times मुझे ही मिलना चाहिए. अगर मैंने आज आपको 100 रुपए दिए तो multiply by 1,000 करके आप मुझे देंगे. I am not saying that. We are not that greedy. We chartered accountant fraternity are definitely not that greedy. But deserving को तो दीजिए. And tomorrow if I deserve or my family member deserves, तब तो दीजिए. Are we doing that? The answer is blatant no. I am not disregarding the developments that is taking place. I am not disregarding at all. But if you are putting such type of opening, I would say tagline, what is the expectation which is developed amongst the SSEs? Today they are not even thinking about a social security. A person who would have possibly paid crores of taxes, and this is a live example I am saying, friends, crores of taxes a person has paid, for some reason he is in a bad shape, absolutely no guarantee from the government as regards any support for even medical needs. No guarantee. आपको प्रॉब्लम है, इफ इट्स अ बॉम्बे, मेडिकल नीड है, तो देयर इज अ हॉस्पिटल, म्युनिसिपल हॉस्पिटल, वहां पर चले जाओ जहां पर आप और हम सोच नहीं सकते. एनीवे, गोइंग फर्दर, when it says the 1,000-fold, yes, I don't deny that development, yes, the security in 1,000-folds, whether it is internal, whether it is external, चाहे अपनी डिफेंस की सिक्योरिटी हो, इंटरनल सोशल सिक्योरिटी और अगेंस्ट टेररिज्म, yes, we are definitely taking the benefit, maybe in 1,000-folds. If that is the intention purely, then this statement is true, otherwise it is not true. But then that is again the interpretation that we CAs have to take it out, whether to look it as a positive or to look it in the negative sense. Second is the rapid changes in administration of direct taxes during the last decades reflect the history of socio-economic thinking in India. I agree to this. There has been a rapid change as far as the socio-economic developments are concerned, whether it is on the infrastructure front, whether it's on the science, medical. We are seeing that socio-economic developments, and all these changes, all put together, we are also a part in nation building. So as a chartered accountant, and take it as a support or take it as an opportunity, we are part of this as a nation. Plus you will see that yes, in last, I would say particularly a decade, there has been a rapid increase in our standard of living, overall purchasing power. The purchasing power can be seen by these cell phones. Who doesn't own a cell phone? And how many persons possibly present over here would be owning a cell phone more than one? आपके family member, including your mates, अगर 5 जन है, 7 जन है, तो कितने cell phones है घर पे? And how the prices of cell phone went on increasing, similarly our prices of purchasing has also went on increasing. So overall development, social economic wise, yes, there is a development. It was but natural in these circumstances that a step for department should not only expand but undergo structure changes as well. Now this seniors present over here will vouch that there is a drastic change in the income tax law. What the law was, I am not only referring to the law of 1922, because at times in initial practice, yes, we have referred to 1922 Act also. But now if you see the law, what was there in 61, Act 61, Income Tax Act 61, and today, a drastic change. Now they have gone with their more intention. The latest example being our reopening. The case laws that has been developed today on the reopening, number of case laws including from the Supreme Court. That what do you mean by information? What do you mean by an assessing officers who has some information which has escaped income? What do you mean by escape of income? वो सब laws, whether that will apply to the new law of the provisions that have been amended. I forget I'm talking about the procedural part of section 148, reopening part. That is 148A की बात तो अलग है. But the drastic change that overall income tax laws have been taking place. Coming to the tax reforms. certain important policy and administrative reforms are carried out over the past few years, which I have classified into, you can say, two compartments, rather two blocks, and each block has got separate compartments. Let us take one by one. The policy reforms include the two compartments, the two blocks would be, one is the policy and the second one is the administrative part. The policy has got 5 compartments, and those are lowering of rates. If you see, the rates of income tax has drastically gone down if I have to compare in last 25 years. If I have to compare in last 5 years, still they have gone down. But those rates are fall, I can say to fall hua hai, that is in the case of Companies Act. Income tax for the corporates. For individuals, I'll come to that little later. Yes, individuals and HUFs have also been given this benefit. But there has been a change in the rates. I recollect when my father was saying that, beta, abhi to tu tax rate khali 60% ka dekh raha hai, because when I joined that time also the highest tax rate was more than 55%. So abhi to tu khali 55-60 ka dekh raha hai. Including wealth tax, we have seen the tax rate as high as 97%. And that was the reason why at that time people wanted कि भाई टैक्स की चोरी नहीं करेंगे तो अपने पास क्या बचे. Now that intentions are not there anymore. I would say that particularly with younger generation, when we are seeing, they are also very clear कि टैक्स की चोरी नहीं करनी है. Even to the extent they say कि forget tax planning also, आप क्या सेव करेंगे? 10-15,000, 20,000, 25,000, and for that if there are any chances of inquiry also, forget that also. Forget that also. Whereas seniors will say, अरे tax planning is always a tool which is made available, which is given by the income tax department, and which should be availed of. And I also endorse that view. But for tax planning, again, you need to be updated, not only on the law front, even on the technology front. Why on the technology front, I will discuss little later. Second is withdrawals of and reduction of major incentives. Yes, major incentives have been reduced. If you see from section 80 HHC exports वाले को जो मिलता था, ATI-A backward area benefits, ATI 10A, 10A, AA वगैरह, they have been drastically withdrawn by putting a sunset clause. And as on date, you will not find so many of them, except very few. और उसके लिए आपको या तो 9-30 जाना पड़ेगा, या टैक्स का तो बेनिफिट मिल जाएगा, पर बाकी आपके लाइफ का वगैरह कुछ पता नहीं क्या है. But those they have tried to reduce all these incentives. Next is presumptive taxation. They have time and again introduced and expanded the scope of presumptive taxation to the extent that virtually everybody now can all small SSEs can be business people can be covered, or a professional also can be covered in presumptive taxation with certain exception. Certain exceptions means if he's got a commission income, transport hai to dusra lena hai, all those type only. Otherwise, if a person has got below a threshold limit of 2 crore, they can be covered in presumptive taxation. Again, if a person is opting for that, So there are certain conditions. And if he opts out in 1 year, तो next 5 years तक he cannot again opt in. I am sure when we as a professionals are so confused कि अगर एसएससी की 1 और 2 करोड़ के बीच में टर्नओवर है, तो whether he can opt for 44AB or whether he can opt for 44AD. As a chartered accountant, if you ask me, I can advocate for both. I can justify कि as per law also, अगर मेरे को support करना है कि no, he should be covered by 44AD, I can do that. If I want that he should be supported for 44AB, I can do that. That ambiguity is there. When our professional itself, we find it difficult, I am sure कि ये छोटे हुए तो non-professional SSEs अगर वो चाहेंगे कि I can carry out my business or income tax compliances without a chartered accountant, impossible. And I'm sure this presumptive taxation is going to increase. I still fail to understand that what is the intention, when the intentions, because as the law in the name of simplification is amended number of times, the main fabric is lost. जब presumptive taxation लाया था, finance minister said that look, we want that at least the small SSCs should be burdened minimum by these compliances. इसके लिए वो बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स नहीं रखे, उसको ऑडिट नहीं कराना है, नहीं करना है, इतना टैक्स भर लो एंड मैटर इज ओवर. यू ऑफर दिस मच परसेंटेज ऑफ टैक्सेस इनकम, पे योर टैक्सेस, मैटर इज ओवर. नो स्क्रूटनी, नो ऑडिट, नथिंग. ऑल राइट, वेरी गुड intention. As the amendments have been carried out, the situation is worst. On the contrary, a person who's got a turnover of between 1 and 2 crore, he mandatorily will have to offer 6 or 8%. Rather than a person who has got a turnover of 5 crores, 6 crores, 7 crores, he may offer 1%. उसको ऑडिट कराने की जरूरत नहीं है, और इसको ऑडिट कराना पड़ेगा जिसको 5% है. So the purpose is actually lost, and this fact was brought to the notice when one-to-one meeting was done to the finance minister, along with the other delegates, including the CBDT chairman, that if it is not amended again, that the purpose will not be served. Okay, we have noted down, and I don't know where this noting goes. It doesn't come in the finance bill, it doesn't come in the act. Well, good for we as a practitioner. I am not denying that, because the topic is opportunities वगैरह क्या है. So good for us. But this goodness will continue because of this typical bureaucracy. Somehow they do not want to clarify, or maybe their intentions are different, or they do not bother for these small petty things. I don't know the reason, but these things have been continued. I can illustrate by way of number of examples that the actual purpose of the section has been lost, and that is still there on the statute. During the talk, I'll give one or few more examples towards the same philosophy, you can say. The next one is on simplification of tax laws. I think we all present here don't have to say anything about simplification. Because we all are aware, in the name of simplification, the things are carried out, and then it is ultimately seeing that it is complex. And the best example is when our finance minister, then Jaitley Sahab, saying that we will see to it that there will not be any retrospective amendments. And see the budget of last 20 and then 21. So many retrospective effects. I understand the retrospective effect, even if 1 year it is a retrospective. And the best, I would say stupidest example is partnership firms reconstitution when there is a retirement or a dissolution, modification of section 45(4) and section 9, introduction of section 9B. Today, if Jajuji and I, along with one person, are partner, if I retire, the day when we three are discussing, the law, as per law, if I have retired, if I have taken an X amount, no tax liability on the firm. Tomorrow the finance minister says that no, आपने और जाजू जी ने जो डिसाइड किया ठीक है, मैं जो बोल रही हूँ वो होना चाहिए। क्या कि आपने जो इतना पैसा लेके गए हो उसका रिवैल्यूएशन करो, एसेट्स का ये वो। No, at the time of bill, they say we will notify. When the act comes, the entire new section is introduced, 9B. And in that section they say we will notify how you have to value and what will be the basis of valuation. The notification comes again after 2 months. So virtually अगर 1 साल पहले जो डिसीजन लिया गया है as per law, वो 1 साल के बाद आप बोलते हो कि नहीं, जो डिसीजन आपने लिया था वो एकदम गलत है. Now what we say that you have to. So these type of complications will keep on coming. And we will have to live with it. The problem of our chartered accountant becomes that at times we get carried away emotionally, which normally the advocates don't do at all. इसलिए काला कोट पहनते हैं. We are daily in touch, regularly in touch with our clients. इसलिए अपने को दुख होता है कि यस ये गलत हुआ है आपके साथ. And we start thinking, शायद possibly उसने तो सोचना बंद कर दिया होगा कि आपको दे दिया है, now it's your baby, संभालो उसको. और and we start thinking, and our thinking still goes on, not only to the extent of the law, beyond that कि अब इसका करना क्या चाहिए, what should be the way out, in spite of achieving that it's beyond my control. Let us wait till somebody files a writ petition और कोई decision आएगा कि नहीं, you could not do a retrospective amendment, और नहीं आएगा तो you have to suffer. मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? Like advocate, सर केस तो आप जीत गए, वेरी नाइस, गुड, थैंक यू सो मच, यस यस, बहुत सीनियर है, अच्छे है, जीत गए. सर केस आप हार गए, वो ब्रीफिंग काउंसिल ब्रीफ बरोबर नहीं करेगा तो हारना ही था. That is the case of an advocate, and we chartered accountant are to be blamed. Okay. Next is widening of tax laws. As far as widening of tax laws goes, friend, the number of scrutinies have been reduced. I agree. Tax audit limits reduced. Agree. GST audits वगैरह वो भी सब गया, ये गया, वो गया, सब गया. But when it comes to widening of tax base, वो reduce हुआ नहीं है और होगा नहीं. Widening of tax base would even include there would be an amendment to section 139(1), which would make compulsory a person, by way of an example, just don't say that sir आपने कहा था ये, ऐसा तो हुआ नहीं. By way of an example, I am giving a person who is spending more than rupees 2 lakhs by a credit card in a year, he will have to file the return of income. Today they are just catching through other sources this information. Tomorrow they can make it compulsory. If you recollect earlier, there was an amendment. If you have consumed electricity more than so and so units, you will have to file the return of income. I would not be surprised if these things will come. And I am happy with this, not because as a chartered accountant fraternity, yes, let the tax base be widened. If this tax base gets widened, at least they are accountable. That you have filed your statement saying that this is only my income. आपने फाइल किया है कि my income is less than, say my income is 2 lakh rupees. Then how have you spent rupees X amount, 2 lakhs plus X amount? That accountability will be there on that person. When we come to the filing of the return, what is our scope? I will come to that little later. The second block is the administrative block, that is the administrative reforms, and which includes computerization. We all are aware wo kaisa hai. The digitization is the next slide, we'll come to that. Realignment of the available human resources, that is from the department side. We all have seen that drastic changes have been done. Now who आपका assessing officer है, but उसके पास अभी power कितना है, वो क्या कर सकता है और क्या नहीं कर सकता है, क्या नहीं कर सकता है, that we are aware, क्या कर सकता है, even the assessing officer is not aware. This is why I am saying is a practical experience. When we told कि sir ये rectification करना है, my office went and told sir ये rectification करना है. अभी हमको क्या करना है? सर कौन करेगा ये रेक्टिफिकेशन? ये सब पावर तो हमारे पास से चला गया, हमारे पास तो कुछ है ही नहीं. तो सर आप कुछ नहीं करेंगे अभी? नहीं, टैक्स रिकवरी करेंगे. सर रेक्टिफिकेशन भी आपका ही है. कहाँ लिखा? Where is it written? So what they are supposed to do, we are supposed to tell them. What they are not supposed to do, that तो definitely we tell them कि sir अभी आप सर्वे नहीं कर सकते हो, रुक जाओ, your days are over. अभी आप धमकी भी नहीं दे सकते कि हमारे यहाँ आ जाएंगे आप. Then we have to tell them that yes sir rectification तो आप ही को करना है, even if assessment has been done by e-assessment or faceless assessment. Effect भी आपको ही देना है, appeal effect or tribunal effect. So that we have to show them that this is the law, this is a procedure. So when it comes to the realignment, plus even the human resources, number of officers have been reduced. Launch of new portal, अभी उसका तो जितना कम बोलो, I don't know what to say for that, but well, their intentions again I am saying, to give pre-filled ITRs. In fact, that fear was there in our chartered accountant fraternity कि अभी pre-filled ITR आ जाएंगे तो क्या अपना chartered accountant को कुछ नहीं है तो ITR फिर तो ऐसे से भर देगा और इसको बहुत टाइम लगेगा सोने दो. It is virtually not possible for an SSE to fill up an ITR. I very well remember time and again these several forms have been introduced. I know a time was there when finance minister said 1-page form we will introduce, 1-page several form introduce. उसके बाद में when we see conditions applicable to whom, बस 1 लाख SSEs में possibly 1, उसमें भी 1-page form और वो भी भर नहीं सकेगा. Thereafter they said that there will be a simplified utility. पहले utility तो सब ले आओ, then we will discuss whether this new portal will have simplified utility or not. Then there will be a user manual along with the videograph. Video आपको देंगे कि how to fill up or what are the queries that will be answered on your new portal. And the tagline is keeping pace with time, enhancing ease of living. जब से 7 जुलाई गया है तब से आज तक तो ईज ऑफ लाइफ हुआ नहीं है, एटलीस्ट फॉर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. एवरी डे मॉर्निंग यही देखना है कि ये पोर्टल क्या इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ है. पहले तो ये देखते थे स्टार्टिंग 2 महीने में पोर्टल चालू भी हुआ कि नहीं, फिर क्या इंप्रूवमेंट हो रहा है, कैन आई फाइल माई रिटर्न ऑफ इनकम और कैन आई नॉट. फॉर दिस लेक्चर आई हैड टू चेक फ्रॉम माई ऑफिस दैट अपने ऑफिस में 30th सितंबर से कितने रिटर्न्स फाइल हुए हैं. टू माई सरप्राइज आई वॉज टेकन, दे टोल्ड मी सर एक भी नहीं हुआ फाइल. I called my partner who is looking after return. Well, why no returns are filed from our office? Is it that we are not extension हुआ है वगैरह? I am aware. The answer given was, and convincing, very right answer. Sir, initially we wasted time. और फिर पता चला कि अगर रिटर्न फ्रॉम आवर कॉन्टैक्ट्स कि if you file the return, तो either it will show on the site that return is not filed. कोई केस में the return is filed, you are not able to download the acknowledgement. If at all you are able to download the acknowledgement will not match with what you have submitted. And these facts, he showed it to me. He said these were the problems. What our other friends have seen this. So that's the reason we took a call not to file जब तक ये बरोबर हो रहा है और उसके बाद we start filing. So then I contacted my friends that time only. Now what is the situation? So the answer given to me, individual, I don't know to what extent it is correct. Let me tell you. इंडिविजुअल्स के अभी स्मूथली जा रहे हैं. ITR 1, 2, 3 he told me. I think 4 is for business. That too बोलता चांस लेना है तो ले. So this is what our new portal status is as on date. And the shameful thing is, Finance Minister said till 15th of September this portal will start working seamlessly. Till 30th September, no communication from Finance Minister. Just received an update 2 hours back saying that now yes, you can upload your form 15CA and 15CB. That means till now even that was not happening. I was given to inform last week that you cannot upload, chartered accountant's name you have to, I think log in, whatever the technical word, I am not into the procedure part. Till then, the chartered accountant cannot upload your tax audit reports. Till last week, तो ये possible नहीं था. So how is a person going to upload tax audit report? How is a person going to file his return of income if it's a business income and covered under tax audit? Well, this is what the launch of new portal and the keep pace with time. But time के साथ pace रखना है, so you keep patience with time. आप patience रखो and not pace, and enhance your ease of living. या तो पहले बोल दिया था तो हम लोग वैकेशन पे जाते कि भाई ये नहीं होता. In fact, we chartered accountants have wasted our productive hours in just trying to get the things done. If at all, जैसे कहा था कि there would be a blackout for 7 days, तो blackout रखते हैं for instead of 7 days. Now जो नए vendor है, that new vendor instead of 7 days he would take 70 days. Fine, we are okay with that, but you should have told us first. Anyway, that is not the situation. We have to live with this. Now coming to digitalization. Friends, computerization in the income tax department started way back in 1981. That is 40 years back. Glad to know that. But it was with the same pace what our new portal is working. It was very gradual, but that is not the situation in last 5 years. In last 5 years, जितना slow space पे वो चले थे, उतना ही fast space पे अभी what they have done in last 35 years, they are trying to catch up in this last 5 years. And same way, if we do not change ourselves, technology-wise, then we will be left behind as far as our practice is concerned. We need to update our tools equally fast. What the government is expecting, what the government is changing. Forget this new portal. Assuming this new portal will function equally seamlessly or maybe in an enhanced way, better way, we also need to update our technology in the same way. And fortunately, I would say this is a fortunate part of the COVID, which made us update this technology. Whether it is because of the virtual, whether it is on account of the department making it compulsion, that we had to do this. And if we do not do it, I understand I am also a part कि मैं भी थोड़ा technology wise बहुत lame हूँ. But still, nevertheless, if I am being told, I can represent before the department कि technology front पे क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे करना is your problem. Same thing I tell my office. How it is to be done is your problem, is the technology department. But ये चीज होनी चाहिए. Coming to the next bullet, the computerization activities were subsequently, after this initially, then it started with allotment of PAN and TAN and all. The second phase was of e-filing. And from assessment year 12-13, we saw that it was introduced. The second phase for e-filing was introduced in a phased manner. And that is the success. Our institute also, if you see, certain accounting standards are introduced in a phased manner. First it will be applicable to level 3, then 2 and 1, that's way. Similarly, e-filing was extended, and today the situation is virtually all SSCs are covered, they have to file by e-filing. When this e-filing was introduced, there was one field which was made mandatory, and which was that compulsorily you will have to give your mobile number. At that time, I recollect my professional guru, where seniors present over here would be knowing him, who just passed away last month, V.H. Patil. A very known personality. For the juniors over here, I can say he was not only my professional guru, but in our fraternity, he was respected at a very highest level. When I met him, I told, sir, आपके पास तो मोबाइल नहीं है. Because he used to say, मेरे को मोबाइल का काम क्या है? Why should I have? Sir, आपके पास मोबाइल नंबर नहीं है. Now you will not be able to file your return of income. He was taken for a surprise. He was a very jovial man. So he used to say, अरे चुप बैठ बेटा, अच्छा है ना, मेरे को exclude कर दिया, I don't have to file the return. Then I have to tell him, sir, ये seriously बोल रहा हूँ मैं. क्यों? Because this was introduced. So we debated for 3 hours that whether this can be made mandatory. a level we debated and then we decided not to file a writ petition for this very issue. And the reason why we said, because Patil Sahab was of the opinion that yes, we have to file a writ petition that time. Okay, how can they make it mandatory? But after our debate, the conclusion was कि नहीं, ये जो हो रहा है e-filing, it is for the good. Or a situation would be there that खाली मेरे जैसे बेवकूफ लोग ही, he said, these are his words, मेरे जैसे बेवकूफ लोग ही खाली मोबाइल नहीं रखेंगे, तो मैं आप लोग का मोबाइल नंबर दे दूंगा, but otherwise everybody will have the mobile. That is the presumption, and therefore let us accept this. Not because it can be a constitutional validity. Okay. Coming to the next, that is the third phase, which says as change on assessment procedures. This is the third phase as on today of our digitalization. Now we have moved from e-proceedings to the faceless assessment proceedings. The e-proceedings is also an old funda today. Now we are on the faceless assessment proceedings. These transitions will change how income tax is practiced in India. This faceless assessment will change drastically. Where I have some special slides for this, we will come to that little later. Now, having this background and the as is situation of today of our income tax, let us understand the likely future of income tax. I would amend myself, kindly read it, future of income tax practice. Future of income tax to what? Bright India. There is no doubt in that. But definitely future of income tax administration, future of persons who are administering income tax, उनका future इतना bright नहीं है. That I can say. The reason is the procedural change, the law changes. Earlier, if you see, I'll come to that point when it is respectively on the respective slide. Okay, so kindly read this as future of income tax practice and not income tax. Now these two blocks, friends, we will discuss in detail. First block is the changing policies, changes in compliances, changes in forms, pre-filled ITRs, limiting of scrutiny cases, changing of tax rates. And the second block is of changing procedures, paperless, which will include 4 compartments, paperless communication, that is email and mobile app, e-proceedings, faceless assessment, faceless appeals. I am not covering the faceless tribunal hearing, though that is there on the statute, but still, since it is not notified, we as a tax practitioners right now don't have to worry about it. Okay. Changes in the compliance. Let us take the first compliance. Changes in the compliances. Compliances have been at an ever-changing spur. Along with the filing of an ITR, one has to be careful with various additional requirements. Why I have taken this point is कि खाली ITR file करना अभी जैसे I said सरल form है. सरल form तो is virtually applicable to very few of the SSEs. Other than that form, there are other various additional informations that are required to be given. Possibly, you may have a software or you may design in a macros that what should be your tax liability. The SSE may do it on himself. But when it comes to filing of your ITRs or filling it up and then uploading of the ITRs, there are other additional informations. How to be given, where to be given, and what to be given. This is what is required and which only a regular practitioner can give. Why I am saying regular practitioner? I am not trying to discourage any new practitioner or a new chartered accountant. A new chartered accountant is also a regular practitioner because if he has undergone a, I would say, articleship, genuine articleship अगर उसने किया है and not dummy, in that case, he has already undergone this procedure and he knows what are the important things which are required for filling up of an ITR, which a businessman would not know. And there is always a fear, and that fear brings those assessors to our chartered accountants. And that fear is कि वो बरोबर गया कि नहीं गया. And by a chance they get a notice of 139, तो ये क्या है? Defective return. Why? Because this defective return notice तो even the CPC doesn't know कि क्या defect है. वो तो कंप्यूटर में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया तो defect आ गया. Even if there is no defect. And unfortunately, so many appeals have been filed for these defective returns. And unfortunately, that appeal have been dismissed also against the SSC. I would not, for want of time, I would not get into that technical issues, but this is the problem of the software of the CPC. For non-business SSCs, the schedule of AL, that is assets and liabilities, required to be filled up. If you are giving the details of long-term capital gain related to your shares or other securities, so ISIN script number is mandatory. You are supposed to give that. The rates you are supposed to give. And all these, I understand, are going to be matched. If you are giving your ISIN number, then they have the rates. Yes, on this script, if you have given this as your date of sale, this you have given your date of purchase, so whether your capital gain calculation is correct or not, whether it is in that range, जब उनका स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का प्राइस उसी रेंज में था, उस दिन था कि नहीं था. So one needs to be, as a practitioner, we need to be very careful that these are properly matched. If these are not properly matched, then this will trigger either your limited scrutiny, your full-time scrutiny, or some reopening if the time limits are over. Similarly, we have to give details of all bank accounts. Many a times, some you can say non-operative bank account, SSC is not aware, he doesn't give it to us, so it's not fed in your ITRs. But this information is there with the banker, और बैंकर ने ऑलरेडी इनकम टैक्स को भेज दिया कि ये पैन नंबर तो हमारे पास है. एंड इफ दिस डज नॉट मैच, तो दिस बिकम्स योर अनडिस्क्लोज्ड बैंक अकाउंट. Whether there is undisclosed income or not, that we don't know, but this may become an information tomorrow for your new provisions for the reopening, so one needs to be careful. Additional information for the SSC who is carrying out business, and that is bad debts. If you have claimed and if it is above rupees 1 lakh, then you have to give the PAN number and the address. I don't know whether it's a mandatory field or not, but my office says it is, so we have to give. If somebody is there, they can, yes, it is supposed to be given. So that you have to give. Shareholders information, yes. Shareholding of unlisted company and the startups, that also you have to give. So these, and turnover which is reported in your GST, that you have to give. I have no clue.
Already 26 years already there.
26 years is already captured. The problem is, yes, different sources, 26 years today. This 26 years is not the same 26 years which was there a year back or which you are seeing today. It is unfortunate, it is, I would say, fortunate for us, though the rule has been amended. But the 26 years what you see is of the old rule. As per the new rule, the 26 years detail is supposed to give you the information which is covered as per annual information statement filed under section 285BB. And there the informations are so many. And if you will, and those are information, maybe it is because of the portal problem, not reconciled, not matched. The legislature is very clear. The parliament is very clear. The finance minister has made that this all information should be captured. But they have the different sources data is there, it has not been properly analyzed, it has not been, data analyst जो बोल रहे हैं, that has not been properly done, and therefore we don't have an updated new Form 26 AS. But I won't be surprised that yes, tomorrow it's going to come. The law is in place, and that all matching has to be done. Even if we are not doing it, the department will do it. But I fail to understand when the definitions are different under both the laws. Today the GST, I am not into GST practice. Had Raju Bhai would have been there, I would have asked him this question. But definitely the person over here would be in practice of GST as well as direct tax. They can find an answer. The turnover meaning is different for Income Tax Act, for GST Act. The goods, meaning of goods is different under both the Act. If under Income Tax Act I am saying the turnover is X, under the GST the turnover is X plus Y, or X plus 2, or Y minus 3, then how it's going to match? Why are you asking this information at all? If at all you are trying to match, then in most of the cases it should not match. Either you try to ask for a reconciliation, that if it doesn't match, give a reconciliation. I know it's going to be very difficult, but it's an opportunity. This reconciliation to a large size business house is not easy. I am aware that our office was asked for a question from the service tax department that time. So this, why I am giving this example, that tomorrow it will be the GST also which will come. Our office was asked a question from service tax department saying that kindly reconcile your professional receipts as per profit and loss account, professional receipt disclosed in your service tax return, and professional receipt as per your 26 AS. The answer from our office was simple. Why are you asking this question? One, kindly you explain me now. Second, the definition of service tax, service is different. The professional fees is different under service tax law. As per service tax law, the time when the service is rendered is the professional receipt. I am supposed to raise the bill. Within that time, I think it was 15 days. As per 26 AS, it is the deductor who is supposed to give the details, and he gives the detail whenever he is making the provision or whenever he is deducting. That has nothing to do with my P&L account. As per profit and loss account, I am following cash system, which is permitted as per income tax law, which is permitted as per my books of accounts I am regularly maintaining. Therefore, these three things are different, and this needs no reconciliation. Definitely, this is not accepted by them. क्योंकि उनको तो वो पसंद आया नहीं, क्योंकि हमने उनको होमवर्क दिया है. However, what we did was, we filed all the three things. Profit and loss account ले लीजिए हमारा, 26 AS ले लीजिए हमारा, और सर्विस टैक्स रिटर्न भी आप ले लीजिए, जो आपके पास है. There is a difference? Yes, there has to be a difference. 3 times they called me, I had to meet personally to the commissioner also, saying, sir, why you are torturing us? These are the words. Sir, why you are torturing us? Aapko kya chahiye? Why you want to reconcile? But nevertheless, this was our office, and if I have attended, I cannot raise the bill on my office. But if it's my client, which we did receive for client, we raise the bill. Though it's non-productive, but it's productive for us. So these type of things will continue as an opportunity. Alright, thereafter additional compliance is burden put on the SSA in the form of TDS and TCS provision. TCS and TDS provision, friends, as I was talking about specialization, TDS is also going to be a specialization area. वो खाली TDS और TCS practice करते हैं. Of course, I should not take the credit, but in Bombay, quite a few people or big consulting firms say कि TDS का कुछ problem है ना, तो महेंद्र संघी को मिल लेते हैं. Well, I'm not so good in that, let me tell you. But I don't know, somehow they have that impression. And believe me, that practice, purely consulting on TDS and TCS, is a good area of practice as far as quite a few chunk of my practice is covering only on TDS and TCS. I had decided not to give any more lecture on TDS and TCS क्योंकि बहुत सारा हो गया था. But 15 days back, I had to give, which again I thought that okay, and I accepted 15 days back for I think 12 organizations which included Jalgaon, tax practitioners of all Jalgaon and Ahmednagar, etc., of that area, Dhulia and all, jointly organized, wherein I was invited as a speaker, and only on the development in last 2 years. And I accepted with a specific reason, saying that let me learn कि मैंने कितना unlearn किया है, because I have not given the lecture. And yes, friends, only on this 2 section, 206(1)(h), 206, that is TCS newly introduced, which was introduced by Finance Act 20, and thereafter thanks to 21 again, और complicate करने के लिए 194Q. To make it more complicated. I recollect very well, on this when it was introduced in Finance Act 20, TCS when it was introduced, Finance Minister Madam had come personally to Bombay along with her team and invited us, wherein I made a representation, rather I should not take the credit, Chamber of Tax Consultants made a representation, and one-to-one when we spoke to her, कि madam, now you tell me after this 15 minutes of talk that I have told you, is there any requirement of this TCS at all? Can you justify? Because when she had come with her entire team. To her left was the Revenue Secretary, right was Civility Chairman, उसके बाजू में GST Chairman, ये वो, there were almost 8 people. So my questions were, fortunately, here we have a GST person in charge, here we have a Civility Chairman in charge. Can they not exchange the information? Do they still require TCS as a trail? Do the Civility person require TDS, just TCS because he wants to collect the extra revenue? The answer to all that was that yes, it is not required. Though they did not comment or commit rather, the comment was yes, we will look into, which is a normal process. हाँ, हम लोग देखेंगे इसको. At that time, I don't know, somehow I felt that yes, possibly they will consider our submission. So they considered the submission and 194 Q out. I really fail to understand if I am looking at the other side, really whether it is required or not. Forget the opportunity side again. Opportunity, great. I'm sure today if you ask me, after the lecture which I have, for the lecture which I had to study, I can discuss so many issues wherein I don't have an answer. Definition of the word goods, you have not defined. मैं shares को goods करूँ, and there are number of type of commodities. Electronically जो चलते हैं, commercial note, whether that is a goods, and I have been receiving queries कि इसको goods define करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए. एक साइड तो तुम TCS है, इसके लिए रेवेन्यू बेस पे जब आता है पैसा तब TCS काटो. अदर साइड दे से कि at the time of provision. And the worst part, section 40A applies to this provision. So if you do not deduct TDS, 30% of your purchases are gone. अरे किसका जीपी 30% होगा 40A में? I fail to understand this type of provisions when they are brought in. And worst case is, if you see the TDS provisions have been amended in last 2 decades, 20 years. Scope बढ़ते जा रहा है. And I would say yes, good. It's simplified for them, complicated for SSC. Penal provisions are also very harsh. It can go up to prosecution. इसके लिए सबजन डर रहे हैं और वो डर रहे हैं, इसलिए अब हम उसका importance बढ़ रहा है chartered accountants का. And that's one way looking at it. It's okay. So another change compliances में as a professional, okay, but simultaneously, as I told you, we require to keep ourselves updated. Unless we are updated with that, we will not be able to give the best advices. Otherwise, जो SSC डर रहे हैं, client डर रहा है, अपने को भी करना पड़ेगा. Now, changes in forms. Let us go compartment wise. The second change, that is the changes in form. With additional compliances, we see changes in ITR forms each year. Earlier, when we were practicing, the ITRs were not every year changed. But now, year by year, ITRs are changed. And the commitment given to the Bombay High Court by the Finance Ministry is that on 1st of April, we will see to it that the ITRs are notified. So yes, after the commitment, we saw this year also the ITRs were notified. But when did the utility come? Way back in June and July. And when are we allowed to upload? Even not today. So though the commitments were given to the court, कि ITR notified होना चाहिए. Why I am saying is that the utility is important. Because though not as per the law they can modify the utility, once the rules are there, your ITR has to be as per rule. There cannot be anything which is not there covered in the rule and which is covered in the utility. But they do that. Unfortunately, even our form number 3CD, if you see, there are still today 2 questions which are not there in the rules, but still they are appearing in our form 3CD if we are uploading it. This was brought to the notice, it is brought to the notice, but still it has not been modified. So the utility becomes important ultimately. Another example, if I have to give you, is of the utility is the introduction of new clause, I don't know the clause, possibly clause 8A or 8B something, which talks about that whether the SSC has opted, yes, for the new regime or not. That's for the business part. If is yes, then you are supposed to upload form number 10IE. But if you have not opted, the law is very clear. If you are not a business, then it is not applicable to you. This is what the law is. But I was given to understand that unless the utility is modified, that even if it is not a business, you have to answer to that question. And they are asking you whether you filed form number 10IE or not. Initially, people have filed 10IE or not and said that yes, and 10IE is to be filed only once. The second time it is to be filed is only when you are withdrawing it. But still they are asking in your utility. So this is what the incorrectness of the utility is. It is other than what the rule has been prescribed. The utility is prepared by the administrators, whereas the rules which has been adopted, they have been adopted by the parliament. So you cannot ask anything other than what has been adopted by the parliament. The process of uploading a return is not easy as our government makes it sound. We all are aware. And that's a good thing, that yes, the process is not simple. For example, I am tempted to say that in the last Finance Act 21, Finance Bill that time, in a union budget I would say, Finance Minister said that we have a very big relief for the senior citizens. Yeah. Here again the definition of the senior citizen is different. Sometimes we have, for railways we have 58 years, for income tax itself we have 60 years, but when it comes to filing of your return for that senior citizen, it is 75 years. So I think it is 194P. But see the conditions. When we see the hard prints, the conditions are that that senior citizen should be receiving pension income, only pension income, and bank interest. That too from that only one account, pension account. How can I think of not having a second bank account of that person? But why he should not have a second bank account? I understand that it is difficult to manage it, both which bank will file, give this form 20, is supposed to file form 194P and all. Then don't at least give such commitments or a temptation that I am giving you this lollipop. How many persons are covered? But nevertheless, if at all they are covered, so it comes from the banks to our chartered accountants only, कि भाई उनका भी form fill up करके तो दो, so that they are covered in 194P. So these things will definitely keep on increasing the scope for our practitioners. Now, and secondly, we have seen that when the ITRs are filled up, or for that example here is of the TDS statements that are being filed of the property. Even if there is an apostrophe mistake, not a mistake, then in the address, actual address, if there is an apostrophe, so it will say there is some error. Your return of TDS or the statement of TDS will not be uploaded. So if a person thinks कि ये तो मैं ही फाइल कर लेता हूँ, सिंपल है, एक बार मैं आपने किया, मेरे को सिखा दिया है, तो मैं ही फाइल कर लेता हूँ, तो वो तो फाइल करने जाएगा, सर एरर आ रहा है, तो मेरे पास आ, come to me, I will find out what would be the error. ये apostrophe नहीं चाहिए, you remove that apostrophe and then it will be uploaded. So this is just a simple example. But उस प्रोसेस में if the days are lost, the due date गई, पेनल्टी तो भरना है, which is again mandatory. उसके बिना आपका रिटर्न तो आई थिंक अपलोड होता है, बट ट्रिगर हो गया ऑन योर डिमांड लिस्ट कि इतना आपका आउटस्टैंडिंग है. सो दैट फियर इज देयर विद द बिजनेस क्लास और एन एसएससी कि जाने दो कौन पंगा लेता है, इट्स बेटर टू गिव प्रोफेशनल फीस. हाँ, मैं बार्गेन करूंगा, चूसूंगा वो सीए को, यहाँ तक चूसूंगा कि मैंने आपको ये काम दिया है तो ए के साथ बी तो बोनस है, वो तो करना ही है आपको. इट्स लाइक आई रिमेम्बर द डेज व्हेन वी यूज्ड टू जोकिंगली से कि आप लोग सैलून में जाते हो तो सर बाल तो कटाया तो शेव भी तो फ्री होना चाहिए. अब वो फ्री नहीं करता है, तो हाउ कैन वी एक्सपेक्ट अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट टू गिव अदर सर्विसेज? Like when along with some seniors present over here, we were discussing during our tea session कि people expect or the business SSCs are expecting कि package नक्की किया है, तो within that package you are supposed to give all the services. उसमें चाहे नया फॉर्म नंबर TCS प्रोविजन आ गया हो या TDS प्रोविजन आ गया हो, तो सब उसी सर्विस में आएगा. I think that is incorrect. That's an incorrect way of practice. I do not deny that, okay, the client wants a package, okay, my package includes A, B, C, D, E. उसमें डॉट 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 नहीं है. If the client expects कि भाई मैंने तो पूरा ही पैकेज दिया था, तो note it down कि भाई देखो अपना पैकेज ये है, कल यू विल एक्सपेक्ट कि स्क्रूटनी आएगा, फेसलेस स्क्रूटनी, फेसलेस अपील, वो सब मेरे को करना है उसमें? द आंसर टू दैट वुड बी नो. एंड इफ एट ऑल योर एक्सपेक्टेशन इज दैट, देन दिस इज माय पैकेज. X amount is my package, which you will also feel that it is very harsh. So better you name it down and then fix up the package, if at all to be done. Okay. Now pre-filled ITRs, that is still I think we are looking forward. कि कब आएगा, और आएगा भी तो as we discussed, the sources will be many. One is GST का पोर्टल से they will catch up कि turnover should be so and so, and there here our turnover will be definitely different, or maybe they catch up from different sources like our annual returns, maybe the bankers have filed giving the information, or your share broker has filled up, stock exchange has filled up, because all these parties are covered. Or if you have purchased a property, so stamp duty office will give the information. Yes, you have purchased and you have sold the property. All these informations they are trying to capture in pre-filled ITRs. And thereafter, the government understands कि देखो हमने आपको pre-fill दे दिया है, अभी आपको खाली ABCD भरना है. That would not be the case. Your pre-fill will be what? That yesterday your name was so and so XYZ. Your name continues at XYZ, वो तो definitely होने होगा. Or your addresses, certain basic details of pre-filled it could be. Max to max, if it's a salaried employees, possibly from your TDS statement, what your employer has uploaded, that could be captured. I have no clue how they would capture the detail of my sale of shares, sale of property. Because my cost to derive at capital gain, you require the cost. Cost कब है, date कब है, indexation, etc. Your laws are not so simple that your pre-filled returns can be sufficient enough for an ordinary person to file the return of income. Okay. Limiting scrutiny cases. The scrutiny cases have been limited. They have been drastically reduced. I am aware when my daddy used to say that our time each and every return was scrutinized, और हम लोग रोज income tax जाते थे. And now the situation is that our scrutiny limited for 18-19 is 0.25%. These are the figures which are there on the side of the income tax. I have no a clue whether they are correct or wrong. And I understand, definitely we work out, if you see, the scrutiny cases have drastically gone down. So does it mean our opportunities to that extent have gone down? Answer would be yes. Straight away answer would be yes. But the other side, if you see, your reopenings have increased and are going to increase. Your scrutinies will go down, but your assessments reopening cases will go up, because the data that the department has gone is very huge. Again, I will say, only thing is they have not been analyzed properly. Once they are analyzed properly, these all things will trigger because of two reasons. One, either they have not been disclosed, and if at all they have been disclosed, they have not been disclosed appropriately or properly, which captures or matches. For these two reasons, the reopenings will be definitely increasing. Then after the other schemes which the government keeps on coming, which is income IDS scheme, Vivad Se Vishwas scheme, so these all things will keep on giving us more and more opportunities. Changing tax rates. The good part is, yes, they keep on changing the tax rates. I'm sorry, they don't keep on changing the tax rates. That's a good part. However, as I mentioned initially, they have been reducing the tax rates. The reduction has to the extent being, if it's a company, even 15% they can. A company today may be paying only 15% tax plus surcharge and education cess. बट वो 15% में फॉल होने के लिए there are so many conditions, and you keep condition is not only to enter into, you need to continue those conditions, and to fulfill those conditions I am sure that unless we apply our mind or a practitioner, tax practitioner is there, you cannot do it. Forget the companies. The new regime, old regime for an individual or an HUF. If you are adopting a new regime, that is the provisions under section 115 BAC for an individual and HUF, you need to compromise or forego number of deductions and exemptions, and which includes the basic ones. That is the standard deduction, 50,000 वो भी नहीं मिलेगा, plus your house property loss which could be on account of your interest payment of 2 lakh rupees, even that also you will have to forego. So you will have to show your SSCs. So this is a really very good opportunity for us, that look, I have to compute both the computation as per old regime, as per new regime, and then I have to compare which would be suitable to you. So I need to work, not if not double, at least 1.5 times, and which is actually the case. And there accordingly I need to file the return. So these things are there, though there are rates are changing, but it keeps on giving. Similarly, the changes and changes in the tax rates of TDS, changes in the tax audit limits, all those keep on changing, and we all need to keep ourselves updating and giving our services to the clients accordingly. E-proceeding changes. Friends, this e-proceedings platform was introduced for conducting proceedings in an end-to-end manner. Will be e-proceedings. The concept of e-proceedings is very simple. They wanted the transparency. They did not want that, okay, आप जाके ऑफिसर को मिल के आ गए, क्या चीज चाहिए सर, आप एक पेपर पे लिख लीजिए, या ऑफिसर would say, I am writing it not on the official proceeding sheet. See, these are the problems with your returns that you have filed. अभी उसको क्या करना है, कैसे करना है. The revenue is generated, but I don't know whether the tax revenue was generated, and which the government was aware of. But they were not able to control, therefore this e-proceedings was introduced. Unfortunately, in spite of introduction of e-proceedings, the proceedings were carried out through e-platform. But still, since you knew the officer, the officers either were calling you, or we as a fraternity along with the SSC, or the SSC used to go and meet the officer, which also the department did not want. Therefore, the e-proceedings, I will rapidly now, just in the mood of wrapping it up fast, I will take it up rapidly. So therefore, the entire e-proceeding concept, which was introduced as the provisions under section 143 2A BC, by way of a notification, they had notified the policies, was transferred as a faceless assessment. These proceedings were transferred as a faceless for the simple reason, saying that they want, what was the motto of e-proceedings? Let me at least tell you that. One was accountability, second was transparency, and third was efficiency. This is the purpose, and which is as per the statute in the law. As far as the efficiency is concerned, I would say that they have not been achieved. It's very unfortunate. But I'm very sure again that it will be achieved. The entire process of e-proceedings, of faceless proceedings, is in such a way that there has to be efficiency. There are 4 separate units which are created: assessment unit, review unit, and 2 more units. So these 4 units are verification unit and technical unit. Today, one person is looking after your assessment. If it was e-assessment also, e-proceeding also, not faceless, one person was looking and he was deciding whether it's a technical part, whether it is to be reviewed. So there were limitations to that extent. Now the procedure is, you have given a case law that look, my case is covered directly under this case. We have a technical unit, faceless, and that technical unit will say, yes, you have this case, but my dear friend, yesterday there is another case which has come up, which is exactly diagonally opposite what you said. This is what is going to be the role of a technical unit. And if that technical unit or the assessing unit has not done a proper job, it is the review unit who is going to see it, that whether he has missed out on certain issues. So that is why I am saying that yes, there will be an efficiency. As on date, unfortunately, I don't know for whatever reason, it has not been achieved. I have seen many faceless assessment. We have preferred appeal towards that faceless assessment. Unfortunately, more than 50% of this faceless assessment, there was a lapse from the chartered accountant. Inefficiency of the chartered accountant. And that's why there's additions are there. Certain percentage inefficiency, I would say, is on account of the time that was not allowed. Only 15 days in the law are allowed for any notice. And in this 15 days also, if the notice is served late, it is served but there is no real-time alert given on your either mobile phone or you're on the registered mobile or on the registered email address. And if you do not log in, every day सुबह उठ के भगवान का नाम लेते सीधा login देखो कि कोई notice है क्या, then you have missed those days and appropriate submissions have not been made and the assessments have been carried out. The other 50% are pure inadequacy of, I would say, knowledge or what they have not understood or उसके additions हुए. उसमें काफी are sufficient time not allowed. So reasonable cause or proper notice not given. Draft assessment which is mandatory not given. We have moved high courts also. There are number of petitions pending in High Court also on account of such reasons for the faceless assessment. But this all are teething problem, I understand, and they will overcome. So what they have not achieved is efficiency, which I understand they will achieve. Transparency, they will achieve and they have it. Transparency means now, when we are doing it electronically, definitely everything is electronic. What the assessing officer has asked us, those questions I have replied. Anything other than that, if he is making an addition, तो बात खत्म. He cannot do that. He has not given me a reasonable opportunity. पहले तो था कि मैंने oral बोला था, मैंने उसका oral जवाब दिया था. He did not answer me. There was no record to that. Now these are all, there are full trails available. The trails to the extent that if you ask for a personal hearing, personal hearing, that is video, personal face-to-face तो allowed ही नहीं है. A video also, that video recording is carried out. and you can ask for what you have recorded in your video gallery, they will give it to you. And this is also available to that extent that transparency is there. The third one is accountability. The intentions are very clear. Whether the officer is accountable or not. Today, I would say the accountability is zero. Assessments have been carried out. Earlier also e-assessments were carried out. Now faceless assessments have been carried out. One round is over of faceless assessment. We have till date not seen any officer being questioned by their higher-ups that how you have carried out this high-pitched assessment. Why you have not given a reasonable time? Why a show cause notice was not issued? Why a draft assessment which is required under the law is not given? That accountability has still not come. But it is there on the statute. I presume that this accountability will come tomorrow. If this accountability comes, we shall be very clear. The intentions of the legislatures are very good, but whether it is going to percolate down and practically we can see or not, that will become important. Okay. Now, as far as our faceless assessment goes, we as a professional will be able to address this faceless assessments only and only if we are able to I would say, I'm trying to cover up a little fast because I can understand the organizers a little bit getting confused whether when will I stop, but nevertheless I'll just take last 5 minutes before I wind up. And before I would say, yes, we will be able to only achieve this provided we are having equipped with a proper talent as far as the technology is concerned. That is one. Myself, I accept, you can understand कि मैं आगे पीछे slide कर रहा हूँ तो मैं कितना technically savvy हूँ. You would have judged कि I am not. But if you are not techno savvy, you will either require your juniors to be techno savvy or your office to be techno savvy. Only then you will be able to address your faceless assessment and faceless appeals, and forget faceless, even your TDS statements, I would say. To TDS statement 26 years, your 26 years what you will capture tomorrow, download tomorrow, would run into few pages. Usko aapko Excel में convert करके you need to send it to your client that you please reconcile it with your accounts whether they match. जहाँ mismatch है उसको आप मेरे को इसी Excel format में side में लिख के दीजिए with your remarks. So unless your office is techno savvy, you will be burdened much more higher. And ultimate, the client is interested in result. So client will ask you कि इसका result क्या हुआ? ये आपने मेरे को form 26 है. Today what happens? Form 26 है download कर दिया, भेज दिया SSC को. And there are few entries वो match कर लेता है and gives it back. But tomorrow if it runs into few pages, the client will say ये आप क्या कर रहे हो? मेरे को बताओ तो सही. So we need to give them in a proper Excel format so that they can match it properly and give the result or the outcome properly. Same thing is for our faceless assessment and faceless appeals. So one is as talent as far as the technology is concerned, and second, which is very important, is talent as far as drafting is concerned. Friends, believe me, earlier drafting, if it was not proper, it was okay because personally, physically, we used to explain them. So whatever was a lapse in our drafting that is overcome by our presentation to that officer or a commissioner. Now that being not the case, as on date the situation is the officer, that is the NSE, has an option to allow you for a physical hearing or not, which is according to me incorrect, and for that we are already in the court by way of a writ petition. Yesterday in Supreme Court on this particular aspect we already had a hearing done, and the Supreme Court has realized this, and because of this the Attorney General has given a statement which is incorrect. Let me tell you that the statement given by an Attorney General to the Supreme Court is incorrect, to the extent saying that they have stopped issuing the notice for faceless appeal, because we have raised certain grievances and gone to the court by way of a writ petition for faceless appeal. Personally, if you ask me, yes, faceless, definitely I 100% endorse this. But you cannot go something which is against the actual core provisions, that by not allowing a physical hearing. If I want that there should be a physical hearing, you may not, e-hearing, you may not allow physical hearing, but at least through video, let me present my case. You may keep the video blurred. I may not be able to recognize who the officer is, but at least you cannot deny a physical hearing. There are various certain issues in the law which are against the constitution. We have taken the opinion of the very senior counsel who is representing before us for the Supreme Court. But the idea I am trying to say is that if our talent as far as the drafting is weak, now that will not work. So what we have to do is, as an opportunity, first we used to go physically, waste our time waiting outside to the officer, and thereafter uske mood ke upar we used to present our case. Sir, aaj jaane do, uska mood kharab hai, sir, I'll come tomorrow, kaise bhi karke adjournment lete the, again go, time waste was there. Now that all is not required. वो जो time waste हो रहा है, let us invest that time in our proper drafting and updating the knowledge. Updation of knowledge is equally important now. Updation of knowledge is not, I am talking about only the procedural part or even only the law part. You need to be updated even on the pronouncement of judgments that are taking place, whether it is tribunal or high court or supreme court. That updation is also equally required for our good service. Friends, I know I have exceeded few minutes, but one or two important things which I will like to discuss is about, again, the future of income tax, not income tax, income tax practice. There are number of new policies which are yet to be introduced, and they are somewhere connected to our income tax practice. One is taxation of agriculture income. For last 3 years, we have been making this recommendation to the CBDT Finance Minister, saying that now it's high time that at least I can understand agriculture income as a central government you cannot impose tax on agriculture income, but at least make it mandatory for this rich agriculturist. A farmer who is having an agriculture income of say 5 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs, whatever threshold limit you want you put, but at least see to it that they are made it mandatory to file the return of income. When possibly you have a power to amend the constitution That time you amend to see to it to say that yes, now agriculture income will also be taxable. Every time you keep on telling that we should expand the base of tax, we should expand the base of income tax. But why don't you understand that what is the proportion of our agriculturists who are contributing by way of GDP, and whether they are required to at all file a return also? And in the guise of being an agriculturist, what activities they are carrying out? These facts are there, but I don't know why somehow, maybe for still 2/3 majority is not there in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, whatever, they are not able to do it. Second is inheritance law, जो पुराना estate duty था, maybe that can be again a good area if they bring in. डायरेक्ट टैक्स कोड जो आ रहा था वापस निकल गया, आ रहा था वापस निकल गया, वापस कब आएगा आई डोंट नो. इफ इट कम्स अप it will be again a new bill which will be started working. And the above all is the increase in number of SSCs. As I said, the SSCs by way of other requirements, even maybe, and if you see the trend has changed now, the government is not increasing the basic maximum marginal threshold limit. 2.5 lakh का 2.5 lakh ही है. And I appreciate that. Yes, by that at least the SSCs who are otherwise required to file the return of income, they are filing. Maybe now they are allowed, they are required to pay only 5%. 2.5 lakh to, if I am mistaken, not up to 5 lakhs, it is 5% only. So for the new tax regime. So even if it is 5%, it is better. And up to 5 lakhs, so 87A rebate and all that if you take. But return of income is mandatory for them. That is a good part. So that they will not, I think they will not, they are not in a mood to reduce also. So the number of SSCs will keep on increasing, and the other scope, what we already have is, which is going to increase, is the Black Money Act, a very dangerous act. So if any foreign assets are there, not disclosed, whether there is any undisclosed income or not in that is a different part. Unknowingly also, if it is not disclosed, it's a draconian provision. Black Money Act, PMLA equally difficult. International taxation, because of the global economy, that international taxation has been increasing, and the Benami transactions. So friends, these are the scope where the opportunities are there for our tax practitioners. And as an advisory role, drafting role, tax planning role, and system audit. System audit, I am trying to say, is not the certification of the system audit, but as I just mentioned, that how to download the data available and thereafter make the optimum use of the system is important. So in short, friends, if I have to say, then it is the professional opportunities will come, but we should be prepared to accept the responsibility of all these opportunities. With these words, friends, the last I would only try to say is that change is not pleasant. We may not like this change. Itna change ho raha hai last, particularly 4 years mein, as far as the compliances part and the procedural parts are concerned. We may not like it, but the change is constant. वो तो होना ही है, and you also require to change. Only when we change and grow, we will see the world we never know. We never knew this was the world. And with these words, friends, big thank you to the organizers for giving me an opportunity, and thank you for all the patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahendra sir, for your excellent deliberation and guiding all of us on this important topic of opportunities and future of income tax practice. If there are, I request now, with the permission of speaker sir, I request the hall for question and answers.
I have to answer, not being a very technical issue, still if there are, I definitely don't mind answer.
If any member is having any question, they can raise their hand, or they can pass on the cheat to the speaker, sir. I think session is 100% clear to all the members. There are no more queries.
Or not at all clear. Could be the other way.
That will not be the case, sir. So let's move ahead with vote of thanks and conclusion part. First of all, I thank our CA Mahendra Sangvi sir for taking taking time out of your busy schedule and sparing your valuable time with all of us at Nashik. And sir, your topic and session like various tax reforms, digitalization, future of income tax, changes in compliances, changes in forms, faceless scrutiny, and change and all, and etc. Every slide is clear and you have explained it in a very precise way. So I think we are moving towards a good era. If I am wrong, sir, make me correct. And we are going towards a good era, towards digitalization. Let's see what happens next. We thank you, sir, for your excellent session. We thank entire audience for your valuable presence. This shows your dedication and patience towards the topic. We thank Nashik branch, Aurangabad, Ahmednagar, Dhule, Jalgaon branch for giving me this opportunity to conduct this session. One more important announcement I have to make. Tomorrow we are going with the schedule. First we are having session on growth of profession using data analytics by CA Akash Hokani sir. And then we will have another second session on opportunities and future of GST practice by CA Rajiv Luthia sir. So I request all the audience to please come tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to start at sharp time as per our schedule. So with this we are concluding the session. Thank you for your valuable time. Thank you very much.